Hello, everybody! That's another round of matches, all done and dusted. We have finished the finals weekend. We're now approaching the grand finals weekend with the top three having already been decided. Oh, what an exciting weekend this has been, and what another exciting weekend next weekend will be as well. But before we get into that, of course, we have something to show you. Something special. I'm here joined with Sunapple. My name is Mint, and we are ready to show you the Grand Finals Mappool. Hello, Sunapple. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. This is our last Mappool Showcase that we will be doing for this year's MWC, and honestly, oh my god, this Mappool, it is
This
it's actually
Mappool is
so good.
something else,
It is
dude.
insane.
Oh,
I hope
it
everybody
is
is super
rough.
excited. It is so hard. I was looking at the maps yesterday, and oh my god, I couldn't even comprehend anything. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So, before we begin, I do want to say, let's take a look first, right? 2022. How hard was that Grand Finals pool, right? That was the first time that we ever really had a Grand Finals pool separate from the Finals pool. And, well, the players still kind of blew it away, even with the difficulty increase. So we decided, hey, let's make it a little bit harder this time. Surely things will be okay, right? Well, I don't know about that. What about you?
I mean, honestly, I'm prepared to be blown away by these players because they're just so good. It's honestly impressive how well they've
Yeah.
actually been able to play, even up to now. These bat pools in the finals were so hard, and we've been seeing like 990s, I think every single map at least, and that's honestly insane.
It is quite scary, honestly, the level that these players have been performing. And I do want to mention just quickly, Paturaj will be joining us here for the SVs. Hello, Paturaj.
Oh, hi. Is it my cue to speak?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you're introduced so that you don't jump scare everyone when the SVs come around and suddenly it's like, oh, who's this guy? You
No
know.
Pataraj jump scare this time.
I was jump scared instead, but sure. I am super excited
Indeed.
about this last Mappool Showcase. It's been a lot of work coming here, so yeah.
Just feels like the culmination of everything that we've worked for this whole year. We started in I would say February when we started actually talking about getting this happening, getting this starting to roll. And it's quite incredible that we're basically at the end of our journey now, and we absolutely, I would say, we have a lot to show for it today. So let's not dwell over this, and let's just get straight into it then.
Yep. And we will start off with Blue White Crazy Star as a Rice 1 on 1.05 with a slight edit.
Yeah, and so these patterns, I would say, clock in about 380 BPM streams. This is a very short pick, so I think in comparison to last year's infamous Love Song by Valedict, this is probably a little bit easier. The patterns are very similar, as some of you may be able to tell here.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a similarity between Love Song, but I feel like, honestly, this map is still really hard, especially considering, as you may have seen, there's a lot of mini jacks kind of scattered throughout this entire map with, like, in the streams, which can cause a lot of issues with maybe finger control or really any kind of problem. You can find a lot of breaks, and as you did say, this map is really short. It's only 1 minute 30 seconds, so that's like one miss and you may honestly lose a point because of it.
Yeah, I actually agree fully. Like this map is the kind of map where if you miss once, it's really actually easy to miss again, like twice in a row. It's really scary. And yeah, these streams do kind of go on for quite a while, but you do get a few breaks here and there. This ending does get a little bit harder. And I mean, you can see that there are some embedded one-hand trills here and there just scattered around. And yeah, this part And this part, if you're familiar with the original map, this part is a little bit easier, but it's still very, very difficult. And I would still say it's fairly spiky in the end. But yeah, I think that would make some very interesting dynamics for maybe like a match point being taken near the end of a pick. It's a very short pick, and things can be decided really, really quickly on this kind of map. And yeah, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to 11-bit for being so kind to let us edit this map and all of that. So yeah, that is Rice 1. Let's get into Rice 2. Believe It by Lemon Guy 1.05. And yeah, this is 286 BPM. You're reading that right. Interesting to note that last year we did use a 290 BPM jump stream map that was very similar, but I would say this is fairly denser and more difficult, more stamina draining.
Yeah, I mean, I think something to note in this map is, as you kind of saw in this intro, there's a lot of like one-handed trills that you see like right now, and you will see later on they get just longer and longer as the map progresses, and that can cause so many troubles, and they just continually sustain throughout the entirety. And especially this kind of map, this is our more jump stream oriented stream map, so you will see more patterns like that, but honestly stamina can come to become an issue because of how long you're having to play these one-hander trills for.
Yup. I mean, you're seeing it right here. This is very, very dense, and it goes on for a really long time. Like, individually, I know that it's 2 minutes, which is fairly short, but you barely get any breaks, which is, I mean, for a map that is supposed to be the less stamina-heavy jump stream pick, this might be really risky to pick out. And, I mean, I feel like we can kind of justify this by saying, like, hey, the teams are so good at jump stream already, and so we can just, like, just throw this at them. They'll clean it up, But I don't know. Maybe we'll see some dirty misses and such on this kind of map. But who knows? You never really know with these players nowadays.
Yeah, honestly, you really can never tell. But as we get into these more longer hand streams, we also see an introduction of not really long jacks, more of an anchor pattern that you see. So right now you see it on column 2, but they like move columns consistently throughout this ending, and that's just, it is so difficult to be able to coordinate on top of having to hit these anchors. These hand streams, basically everything coming at you at once in this little short 2 minutes and 15-second map.
Yeah, it's incredibly short, but I mean, it's gonna catch a lot of players off guard if you're not really used to these high BPM, sort of like mid-density jump streams. Like, this is very, very difficult for a lot of players to be able to, I guess, handle because of the fact that the BPM is so much higher than what maybe a lot of people might be used to. Like, yeah, there's just a lot of things about this pick that are very risky, but it is a jump stream pick, and jump streams have historically and I guess naturally been the, I guess, more approachable sort of picks. And I suppose with that in mind, we can lead into the stamina pick, which is another jump stream map. This is going to be Shine or Shine. I don't know. It's one or the other. 1.35 by Shoegazer.
Yeah, we honestly never did figure out that much about this name.
Yeah, I think there was a debate in the pooling server about this, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is the stamina pick.
Yeah, and you will see that this map is actually 10 BPM shorter than the last map. However, those two maps kind of play decently similarly. I feel like this map has a lot more dedicated trill sections, so you will see on top of those one-hand trills, you'll be seeing split trills, just like kind of jump trills, and then also like alongside you will see kind of these anchors like how we saw at the end of the last map, except honestly these are kind of built up to the extreme.
Yeah, I mean, this is just brutal, and you get these little bursts here as well. Like, these patterns just do not stop, and they're also very, very heavy anchors, and it's just, I mean, I would say, like, slightly more dense than Believe It. I would say the patterns are probably in the same ballpark, although, I guess 273 versus 286 that makes a very, very big difference, really. But yeah, I would say this is probably harder.
Honestly, it's definitely a toss-up. If you're not able to play like 280 BPM, this may be slightly easier. However, honestly, I think the main thing about this map is that the difficulty is kind of consistent, whereas in Believe It, we kind of see, I guess, a bit more, it's a bit spiky towards the end, but not all that much. It's mostly just like having to move between having to play longer or shorter one-hand trills to longer, and then also adding those anchors, whereas in this map we see those one-hand trills and those just general trills and anchors throughout the entirety. We saw it at the start and we're still seeing it right now, and until this break here.
This is the first break that you get, pretty much, and I mean, those 4-note anchors that you see scattered throughout the entire map, those really tire you out. And I mean, it doesn't really matter if you pick this in the early stages of the match or towards the end, you're going to get tired afterwards, and this is a very risky pick to go on throughout the entire duration of the match, because it's just too risky to, I guess, maybe like almost injure yourself perhaps, or something like that.
Yeah, definitely you've got to think really, really hard on whether you do want to be picking this because of just how long it is. It's 3 minutes 15 with, I want to say, maybe like 15 seconds of break in general. So, I mean, it's just consistent difficulty for 3 minutes of hand streams, 270 BPM, something that even a lot of players were kind of having difficulty on in last week's pool. Something that you will have to play for a sustained period of time, which honestly, I just hope that people are actually going to be able to play this well. Because, you know, we finally see anime in Mappool and Rice Pool again.
Yeah, the return of the anime, of course. It's the classic. And yeah, with that, I think we can get into our chord jack map, Shinsha.
Oh my god, this map has been so hype for me to be able to show, because the song is so good. It's like hearing this repeated techno music, honestly, it's just so satisfying. But I do want to let people know this is going to be our chord jack pick. This is actually Mint's chord jack pick right here. I believe this is your first, correct?
This is my probably like I don't have very many chord jack maps, and this one definitely took a while to iron out. But yeah, this was done really early on, and actually it was done, I think, before we even wanted it for MWC. And basically, I mean, it's really funny because every single time that this ever comes up during a voice call, we can always just start spamming techno music because this song is just so addicting. And yeah, I mean, 167 BPM, it's fairly light in comparison to maybe Conflict, but the duration at which this actually, like, the duration that you have to actually hold onto your chord jack sustained motion is so long that a lot of people, I would imagine, are probably going to have a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, I think something to note is that most of the chord jacks in this map are generally 3 to 4 notes long, so you'll be kind of having to anchor for that long, as well as having, I guess, not really as often, just longish jacks like we're seeing right now in this little break. And then also you have been seeing this, there's a lot of transitionings between chords to singles, and then same way other way around, so it's singles to chords. So you really have to just continually keep that finger control up with this entire map.
This patterning right here, the I don't know how you describe it, but the way that the hand motions, I guess, like, you have to really control your chord jacking, I guess, muscle memory here.
Yeah, and honestly, this map has been, or this song in general, is decently long at 3 minutes 15. So it's the same BPM, or same length as the last map, or last pool. However, compared to the chord jacks in the previous pool, I want to say this is one of the longest, so definitely stamina can become an issue, especially at almost 270 or 170 BPM chord jacks, which I don't think there are that many people who are too comfortable on this.
Yeah, this is it's just really difficult the entire way through, and it just does not stop. The patterning is extremely consistent, but extremely variable. So maybe you're good at one section, maybe you're good at another section, maybe you're really bad at another section. It's just, you don't there's a lot of risk involved with this sort of pick.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think we'll be seeing as many people avoid this map since it's a lot more physical compared to as much of an ACK battle set as we have been seeing in previous Core Jack Worlds. And we are approaching this end. We have basically only seen one break, or not one break. Well, there's a break right there, but one kind of easier section of the map, and that definitely causes a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's definitely not every day that you see a 3-minute Core Jack map. Usually our Core Jack maps are fairly short, probably like sub 2 minutes, and probably faster BPM, like last year with Peerless Under Heaven, which was 170 BPM. But yeah, I mean, this might shake things up a little bit with this sort of dynamic of the Core Jack map, maybe also contributing to that draining sort of stamina factor, which might be really interesting.
Yeah, but I guess we can move on.
All right, let's move on to Rice 5. This is End of System 1.05. I don't know how to describe this map. It's quite. I mean, okay. Let's start from the bottom here. This is very, very difficult, right? I would say it's sort of mixed in terms of technicality and physicality. There's a lot of very technical patterns. I think it's in the same vein as Nisemono, where you kind of have to switch between, I guess, comparatively easier patterns and then like really, really difficult patterns. And yeah, that on and off motion can maybe catch some players off guard. Yeah, we're starting to see the difficulty get up here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, something to note is that this first half is very, very bursty in general, so you will see a lot of, I guess, more split up notes, I guess. Like, big chunks of patterns going at you at once, and then, but as we get further into the map, at about the halfway point, the map kind of becomes more sustained. It's a bit longer of patterning, so you won't actually be able to kind of just like autopilot in general.
Yeah, this part is super dense. It's basically like, I guess like light drum stream might be the best way to put it. And now you get some polyrhythmic jacks here, 3-note jacks with stream going on at the same time, which is very, very difficult. And yeah, we get some light jacks here, I suppose, and some split trills. This part is very rough. It looks easier than the earlier section. And yeah, maybe it is, but you might still catch a few misses here and there on these sorts of easier in quotation marks patterns.
Yeah, this map really has a bit of everything. We're seeing some easy jacks right here. There's also the longer jacks kind of split up in the earlier section, and then here's the stream section that is broken up by like, I think it's like 190 BPM mini jacks or something insane. That's just so difficult to be able to play.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, honestly, this part is also very misleading. It's not as dense, but it's just really difficult to, I guess, stay consistent because of the rhythm changes and such.
Yeah, and I think I misspoke. I said mini jack. I meant speed jack because like those aren't mini jacks. They're literally just, like, regular
exactly.
Jacks that are so fast.
Yeah, and I mean, the next pick you'll never see coming, really.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a surprise.
We have Last Surprise by Ska 1.05. We did it! It's here!
Yeah, y'all wanted some more Ska in the pool, so we gave it to you in the best way possible. We see Last Surprise. This is a decently popular map in general, so a lot of people may actually know this. It is a slight edit. I believe it was some short long notes as well as like some jacks that we saw that are changed just to make it a bit more comfortable to play. But I mean, I say a bit more comfortable, but this map is not that comfortable. It's like very dumpy.
Oh, this is our dump pick, and I mean, you're already seeing these really technical patterns here. It's just a mixed bag overall, honestly. It's really rough.
Yeah, so we see these longer sustained streams that are just, I think they're on 1/8 or something, so they're just so fast. It's honestly insane.
Yeah, it's very fast. I would say like, I think this is 380 BPM, but it's also rolly, so compared to the other pick, Blue White Crazy Stars. This is maybe not as bad, but I think the sections that are outside of this, and maybe the sustained length of this will also catch players off guard. This is definitely not easier than the other pick, I will say. This is definitely the harder one if you're comparing directly. But I think the comparison might be a little unfair because this map has so much more variety in terms of patterning.
Yeah, I definitely think about it compared to Rice 1. This map has a bit more longer streams, so they go on for a longer time, and as well, I think the breaks in general are a bit difficult. Even in these little breaks that we're seeing right now, there's so many places just to trip up on.
Yeah, and I mean, we're getting a repeat of the course here, and we're no shortage of these sorts of stream dump patterns, and also mini jacks, trills, and everything in between.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly insane that players are going to be able to pick this map. I hope that people do pick this more. Anime and Mappool is always my favorite, as many people know, and this map is definitely going to be a deal breaker between some teams because honestly, this kind of looks easy, and it really isn't in terms of like actually playing it in the match because there's so many places where you can mess it up on and take just random 200s, random breaks, anything basically.
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, this is incredible. Wouldn't you believe, Sun Apple, that we have such a pick in Grand Finals? It's so difficult, and I mean, where can we even go from here? Like, is this the hardest it gets? I mean,
I think we may need to have some
yeah, I
obligatory
think we want
destruction.
something harder. We want something harder. Maybe a little bit. Maybe something something that might combust your crystal chamber. Something that may cannon your tachyon beam. Something that may charge your cortex.
We're going back in.
And yeah, we are introducing Aquelix to our featured artist listing. Here's a second one for this MWC, which is really, really exciting for us because both of these artists have been, I guess, intertwined with the VSRG community for, let's just say, a really long time. Well, these two artists have been around for a really long time. We really appreciate Aquelix for being able to join us as a featured artist. We're really, really excited.
Yeah, I mean, if you've played, basically, I mean, I think Aquelix had a map in 2 years ago's pool, so some of y'all may know them from that. And I know we've been really trying hard to get a good Aquelix slot into the map pool, and we're really happy to be able to have a custom, or a OC original, I should say. And keep in mind that this is a halogen map, so very, very similar to...
Yeah, this map is filled with absolute every brutal pattern you can imagine. 270 VPM, we have as well these incredible like bursts and mini jacks, and I guess like intertwined with these jump stream sort of anchor patterns. It's just all over the place, and it's just absolutely it really is truly something else, I would say.
Yeah, but I guess we can move on. We're done with the rice pool now. I hope everybody liked it. We can move on to the hybrids, and we'll be seeing Apocalypse Ray by Lemon Guy. Y'all aren't going to be spared from Lemon Guys here.
Yeah, no sparing from Lemon Guy, absolutely. This one is a completely different beast. When we're talking about Lemon Guy maps, this is nothing to scoff at. It's just absolutely throws you everything, all these... Maybe you'll like Lemon Guy maps, maybe you hate Lemon Guy maps, but this pattern will have something. I mean, this map will have a pattern that you will get frustrated on. It is quite something. But somehow it manages to be a hybrid one, and instead of maybe a hybrid 3 or something like that, because yes, this is one of the easier hybrids. Which is insane to think about. This map is so brutal and so difficult.
Yeah, and I think something that a lot of people will realize later on. We do see these, I guess, more speedy sections. We see the trills, but I think the main difficulty of this map really just comes down to the jacks that we see alongside the LNs that you have to coordinate very, very well as the shields and reverse shields that are scattered throughout the entirety of the map. And we'll really see that jack difficulty amp up in the later half, and right here especially, I know a lot of trouble.
Yes, yeah, they're having a lot of trouble with that pattern, but I mean, it's Grand Finals. You guys, you can't shy away from these sorts of patterns anymore. We gotta throw everything at you, everything we've got. We gotta show that at least some of these players have some weaknesses, right? Like, come on, please, just once, like.
Please miss on this. Please don't 990.
Please, yeah. No 990s here. Incredibly, our replayer here is still able to 990, but yeah, I mean, this map is quite something. We have these 4-note mini jacks, long jacks here. I mean, this burst pattern to round it off. And yes, that is our hybrid 1, Apocalypse Ray, and it's very exciting sort of here. It's, it's just, Ooh.
This one is hard.
Oh, jump scare. And yeah, this is a hybrid 2! Angel Echo by Abraxos.
Yeah, people really thought they were going to be able to be spared of an Abraxos map in the map pool. And actually, if you thought that for whatever reason, you will be so sad to hear that this is probably the hardest hybrid in the map pool.
I think this is the hardest one. Yeah. You thought Testify was hard. Just wait till you see this one. This is absolutely... It just does not hold back in any capacity. And I'm sure we've said that for previous maps in last year's pool, but this is so much harder than last year's hybrids. It's impossible to imagine how the players, the remaining teams, will even fare on this kind of map, but I mean, anything is possible with these players, right?
Yeah, that is definitely true. I think to talk a bit more about the map, we see just so many really abrasive patternings throughout the entire map. We have like these 3+1 patterns with basically inverse on every single column except for one as well. It's like these mini jack releases or short long notes, shields, I guess. Not really, but they're just so difficult. And this map, this pattern right here is so mind blockable from what
Oh
I've
my,
heard.
this part is so difficult because you have to like stop and go over and over and over again. This part is so difficult to get down. Like these patterns don't look that dense, but then you consider that factor and it's just like something that you don't really see very often in a map like at all. And so a lot of people are going to struggle with this.
Yeah, and as we hear this little synth in the background, we add in some little shorter long notes just to add some trouble for players, give them a bit of a like place to get a lot more 200s, take a lot of misses and stuff, and we're getting to this little bit ending. We're seeing our replayer only have a 98, definitely scary, just insane to be able to think about this.
Yeah, I mean it's just absolutely like there's no words for this honestly, and I'm really happy that we did actually manage to get an Abraxos map in the pool because I mean even though this map took probably gave us more trouble than like any other map in the entire pool because I mean it's just like Abraxos hybrids are just really one of a kind. You really can't find this kind of map anywhere else. And I mean I think Abraxos went through I think 3 different drafts of different songs before we actually landed on something. And
Yeah, it
I mean, it's
was.
just absolutely. We're very excited to see the players perform on this kind of pick. And, well, I mean, I do feel something. I, 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 I feel. What is this? What is this feeling? I don't know. What
Mm,
could this be?
there's like a light.
And yeah, that was Light Left Behind by Billy Moto, another Osu original, mapped by yours truly. And I mean, what a map! Like, it's all over the place. 285 BPM. I think when we did approach Billion at first, we were like, we want something really, really high BPM, you know, to like get these players. And we actually ended up making the BPM a little higher than we initially asked for. It was initially 270, but yeah, it's 285 now. So you get 285 BPM, sort of like weird like coordination patterns and mini jacks and all these sorts of different variety of patterns. And yeah, you get this sort of mixed bag with these three hybrids ultimately, and I think that this really rounds up the hybrid pool really nicely, honestly.
Yeah, and I do want to add, we had Cold Fusion in the last map pool as our Hybrid 3, and that was kind of like a mini tiebreaker. But this map is kind of like a mini Purple Palace, if you really think.
Yeah,
like if you.
That's actually very true. Yeah, a lot of people during testing did compare this to Purple Palace because it does really. I mean, it's very reminiscent. The sort of vibe that you get here is definitely that's definitely the case, and I mean, you can see. In this background created by Alex Dunk, thank you very, very much, was able to get this background in, and I mean, it really does feel like you're stepping into a portal to another dimension, another universe, really. And it's just like another universe of patterns and another universe of players who can somehow combo through every pattern imaginable. It is absolutely incredible the level at which we're actually going to push these players for this round, and I mean they're going to handle it, and it's just going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, but with that being said, we will be rounding out our hybrid pool with that, and we'll be moving on to our LNs. Mitt, I think you'd be a bit better at saying this. I don't know any Japanese.
Yeah, this is Kyusei Argyros. Argyros is a Greek word, so yeah. But this is our timing hell pick, aka LN coordination.
Yeah, and definitely you already see these timing hell patterns just throughout. We have these longer LNs at the same time having to. It's just like a variety of lengths of LNs. So it really takes a lot of finger control to be able to play. I know. Ellen Master here definitely played this a lot and had a lot of difficulty just being able to really combo this map in general, just because of how difficult it is to be able to coordinate all these LNs together and having at least a decent amount of accuracy.
Yeah, I actually want to say this is probably the hardest LN map according to our playtesters, but I mean we saw these players in the top 3 teams and as well as top 6 as well, crushing these like this exact genre of map. So I mean, we only made it a little bit harder. This can't be that bad, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you would think it wouldn't be that bad, but I definitely think that like, honestly, it's just so much. It's, we see kind of these anchors, not as much as we see in other timing hells. However, I think this map has a different kind of difficulty that we see compared to other timing hells. I think it's mostly based on like the longer LNs that are kind of just sustained throughout this entire map. You kind of are always holding down one LN for like up to a second, honestly, and that just causes so many problems.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is also extremely chokeable, extremely tiring, and I mean, I don't know how like LN gear teams will want to pick this, because this is definitely the one that will tire out everyone like basically immediately, so you definitely want to save this towards the end of the match.
Yeah, and as you did say, this map is very tiring. It's nearly 4 minutes, 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and there are very few breaks, and in general with LN maps there aren't too many breaks just because you can kind of be continually holding an LN throughout this entire map and really just like forget basically about the break, but you'll still feel the strain from having to be able to release at basically a perfect time.
Yeah, I mean, this is just absolutely, like, all these releases and this guitar solo as well. This map does not hold back at all, and we are in Grand Finals, so it really is fitting, but I don't know, it's really, really just, you have to have the physicality, you have to have the coordination, you have to have the stamina, everything you need for this map.
Yeah, and here's, I guess, our first break in quotes, but we see basically full inverse, so still you have to keep in the mentality of that you're playing in the tournament and just continually try getting as best of judgments as possible. And we're getting up to this ending, and that break definitely is not going to be enough for you at this point. And it just continually goes on, these kind of streamy LNs, but as well like these longer LNs having to be able to hold those. And here we see, I guess, more of an anchory pattern, as well as like these kind of shields, LN shields and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Snap just goes on for forever, and just so many shields, so many of these, like, all these... Ooh, it's like that ending as well. This kind of little bursts of LNs. And yeah, that was Mysterion's Kyusei Argyros, and that was our LN1. This is our LN2, Selenadia 1.05 by Chryslerline. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and this is our more density-oriented LN, and you'll definitely see that later on. Chryslerline being quite known for density. We have seen different kind of maps from them in previous pools. However, this is definitely a lot more pure density, and probably one of the easier LNs, honestly. But with that being said, it is at 240 BPM basically. LN kind of jump streams, so easier is not really a good word for it.
Yeah, I mean, these patterns clock in at 238 BPM, and the patterning is very, very dense. And I mean, it just goes to show, like, we're here at 238 BPM inverse, and it's just absolutely incredible, sort of, the level of density that this map has. And it doesn't even... this isn't even the hard part yet. We're not even at the hard part yet.
Yeah, honestly, that was just like your warm-up for the actual difficulty. Here we see a bit more increase in density, a bit more longer LNs, and here we actually should be getting into the hardest part. Keep in mind that this is at 70 or 7.5 OD, so that's honestly super high for an LN map, especially of this difficulty.
Yeah, I would say it's high, but also I think it's fairly reasonable considering how, I guess, maybe it's more straightforward to hold accuracy on this kind of map, compared to maybe Kyusei Argyros, which was all over the place in terms of releases and coordination and accuracy. You just need OD7 to... We gotta be nice, you know? But this one, you can push the OD up a little bit.
Yeah, this map is definitely a bit more comfy, but still there's physicality required to play this map. We see in this last bit, we see it just kind of ramp up a lot more. So many places where people can just take breaks, so many places...
Yeah, these anchors right here, this is the hard part right here. The hand stream.
That's just inverse. That was just inverse.
It's basically inverse. And yeah, that was our density pick. It was 238 BPM, and okay, we can get straight into our LN3, Mugen Hoyo. And this, I'm sure some of you will be familiar with this. This was uploaded probably a couple months ago, maybe a little bit more than that. And yeah, this is our LN Burst wildcard, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. This map is super, super bursty. This intro, honestly, isn't that bad. You definitely see a lot more difficulty coming out in the later half. This first half is definitely a lot more density oriented, so it is 270 BPM, so it's super, super fast. But the patterning itself isn't honestly that hard to be able to, I guess, comprehend. But that just really is not the case for the later half.
I want to say this is probably, like, I mean, personally, I think this is the easiest LN map. But I think a lot of people who are probably in the range of the player base that is going to be playing this pool next weekend will probably think that this is the second easiest behind LN2, because LN2 is very straightforward density with, like, I guess, lower BPM. But yeah, it's still fairly difficult, and it's not like easy as in it's free. It's definitely very, very difficult. These bursts and everything are definitely. It's just there's no stopping with this sort of map. It's you go in, you play these extremely brutal bursts and that trill, and then you come out. Like it's 2 minutes of just this, and that you're done, right? It's very quick, and it's very fast-paced as well.
Yeah, and I definitely think especially those bursts at the end can cause a lot of trouble after having to play basically 2 minutes of density. You go into like very small bursts, going in and out of patterning, going in and out of like really fast timings, and that causes some misses, some 200s to come out.
And yeah, I mean that's for okay. I guess we're gonna go straight into LN4. This is our LN technical pick. Born to Lose by Gooden.
Yeah, and honestly, this is another one of the more difficult maps, probably a bit below LN1, but still definitely super, super hard. We already see these kind of inverse patterns, like 3+1-esque, but this map doesn't really let up at all. And, you know, we just continue to see in this section a lot of these, I guess, like, LN shields just scattered throughout the entire map. And we do see, I guess, a bit more of a break than we saw in some of the other maps. This map is 3 minutes and 15 seconds, so do keep that in mind. This is one of the longer LNs. I think, to round out this LN category, this map is probably a bit more something that people are going to be opting to play, I hope. And we really just see what is it called? A more difficult section right here. It's so techy. We have the really awkward snappings that the releases are hit to, or mapped to, and then also the LN shields that are added on top of it, and we're only halfway through the map.
And yeah, I mean, this is a very, very difficult pick. You're noticing a lot of these shields. And honestly, I will say this is like, if coordination didn't really have that much coordination, it was more of a technical side of a map, and that's really what this map is. It's just very, very technical overall. Very, I guess, unconventional patterning for LNs overall.
Yeah, I mean, in general, this kind of song isn't really what many people actually map LN to, so it definitely gives a different, I guess, insight in terms of LN. And here we see basically inverse on 2 of the columns, and oh my god, I know a lot of people, even last year on like kind of Testify, we saw that, and so many people messed up on that. So we will be seeing that, except not in one of the hybrid pools, instead on one of the LN maps, so something that a lot more people may be opting to actually play.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing, I guess, maybe a little bit more of a trend. But yeah, I mean, this map is really, really brutal.
Yeah, and it definitely has a bit more breaks than some of the other LN maps. With that being said, just having more breaks doesn't really mean all that much, because the physicality in this required isn't too heavy, honestly, so you won't be losing too much stamina, but having the mental fortitude really to be able to continually hold an FC on this map for the whole 3 minutes duration after having to play basically these mini jacks consistently throughout the entirety and not having to basically double tap, you'll find so many issues on it.
But yeah, and I mean, that was LN4. That closes out pretty much everything except for the SVs. And let's take a look. Pacharaj, introduce us.
Yeah, let's go into the SVs. What some of you may have been waiting for. This is a collaboration between Arcat and myself. So some of the mappers you've been guessing, well, here you go. I'm making a return from qualifiers, and this SV map, this SV1 is really, really aggressive on the SV. The gimmicks are incredibly snappy, and this is incredibly misleading. the LN does not actually go all the way, it goes halfway. You have to go into the editor to figure it out, but it's essentially a kind of telegraph, but it is kind of a misdirecting telegraph, which is really hard to reason about, and that first drop might be the hardest part of the map itself. And the rest of the map is not easy by any means. It gives a lot of reading tricks. This is one of them. You have to basically look at the bottom of your screen and just deal with it. And, well, the 998K on this, thank you Odyssey for this replay. It is an incredible score. It might be easier to act this map by the virtue that this entire map is on 1/4, and this map is also OD6. Why is it OD6, you might ask? This song originally is 150 BPM. We had to speed that up because 150 BPM is quadable. And so 175 BPM, you have to have OD6 so that it's not entirely quadable. So this was very much calculated. And yeah, this is, among the two SVs, this is probably the most aggressive one. And the SV2, compared to last year's Symphony OP1, is going to be a lot more, I want to say underwhelming, but it is also somewhat kind of more adjusting our tournament expectations, because as some people might know, Symphony OP1 is like really, really hard, maybe too hard for a tournament situation. So we're just correcting the difficulty here.
Yeah, and I would say course correction is fairly needed, especially with how the SV performance has been going for the past few rounds. But I mean, you guys are definitely not holding back with these maps here, as we can very clearly see with this map, and I'm sure that the next map will be no shortage of crazy SV madness.
So yeah, without further ado, we will introduce the last map, the last non-TB map of the entire tournament. This is my map of Digibuprofen. And this is going to be kind of a more memorization-oriented type of SV, but it also kind of features some reading tricks. And yeah, I feel like this pick, as long as it is 3 minutes and 14 seconds, encompasses kind of a little bit of everything that this tournament has featured. Teleports, fake outs, slowdowns, missnaps. I think there's pretty much everything included in there. And that wasn't entirely on purpose, but this song, I think the most difficult thing about this song is that there's incredible variety in this song. This song is so good, by the way. So yeah,
I do want to point out the grace note kind of effect that you have, the 1/4 in earlier in this map, and I do think that they appear again. That part I mentioned to someone a while ago, but I did say that it seemed like the exact kind of thing that would trip me up specifically, because of the fact that you would, I guess, have an internal clock on this map, and then that sort of patterning that has accents that don't necessarily land on where you're used to landing. That is what really throws players off on these kinds of maps.
Yeah, I think this song is really unconventional as well, so there's less of a footing you can get a hold to, especially if you're kind of more used to rhythmically, I guess, anchored picks such as Mula, which is SV1, as a reminder. So this one is more of a, you have to spend a lot of time to learn it. I love this gimmick, by the way. Thank you, Zero to Snow, for introducing this gimmick to me. That gimmick was part of a kind of rejected work in progress by Zero to Snow, and I stole it. So thank you very much, Zero to Snow. I just want to shout out Zero to Snow for that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not that great at SV, but this map definitely seems, honestly, probably one of the more fun maps to learn. Those quad baits definitely looks super enjoyable to be able to, I guess, memorize, having to play this map multiple times. I actually think that the current teams actually may be able to play SV, unlike last year, honestly. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to see these SVs be picked since they're so interesting.
Yeah, I think this map in particular might be easier to handle than Mula, just by the virtue of the fact that Mula is incredibly aggressive. This is more, I guess, gentle in a way. And the fact that this is gentle makes it more affordable to learn, in my opinion. And for example, Walter, among our playtester team, has been hard-walled on Mula. And this is the last replay from Walter, by the way. And yeah, Walter wasn't able to handle Mula, but was able to handle this. So it's up to the teams to decide what they can handle or what they cannot handle.
And yeah, that does close out the last non-TB pick of this map pool. I just want to say a quick thank you before we all get into the tiebreaker. Quick shout out to everyone involved up in the higher ups, I guess, like Azer, Chilier, Leo, Mango, all of the artists who have made OC originals, and just you know who you are. And I just want to give a quick thank you to every single one of you. And there's not enough time to name everyone here, unfortunately. But yeah, I just want to say we are going to get into the tiebreaker. But first, I do want to say a quick disclaimer that we actually maybe change the rules a little bit here. Let's lay it down like this. We built a machine that can transport you to different universes and grab their tiebreakers instead. So let's have it. The Grand Finals tiebreaker of MWC 2023. Let's go!
Whee!
Let's fucking go.
multiverse, the allure of traveling through parallel universes beckons intrepid adventurers. Each universe presents distinct laws of physics, alternate histories, and uncharted wonders. As we journey, we encounter reflections of ourselves and grapple with myriad possibilities that hope is vacant. Guided by curiosity and a thirst for knowledge, we embrace the thrill of discovery amidst enigmatic landscapes. This cosmic odyssey, the dance with destiny, reaffirms the unbreakable spirit of human curiosity, a feeling that the wonders of the multiverse are limitless.
Oh my goodness.
Holy guacamole!
Oh my god.
How does it even get that fast? My god, 440 BPM? That map is insane. It really did come from another universe, huh?
Yeah, we really pulled it out from the most difficult, like, the universe where they play the hardest maps ever. And honestly, I don't have any words. It's like I. It's been how many years? This is my 5th year pooling for MWC, and this is also the 10th year of MWC. And I mean, we did it. We have a chameleon tiebreaker, and it's probably the best thing I could ask for right now. It's just everything. It's just a culmination of everything that we've worked for, and I don't know. I don't have any words because I'm just so happy that we've actually managed to make this happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much that could be said about this map. It's all over the place, but in a good way, 100%. It has such difficult LN sections just throughout the intro and at the end especially, and then the right section just ramps up so quickly throughout the middle and end section. It's just so many places for people to just do basically anything. If anyone sees this map, I would be super impressed, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that we were we're able to pull this off, and I do want a quick shout out, of course, to Camellia, who is the star here. Really, this song, this whole map wouldn't be possible without them, and I'm just really, really happy that we're all able to contribute our little. I mean, 11 mappers on this map here. It was me, Toph Daddy, Alexire, Guden, Mysterion, Lemon Guy, CRZ Chrysler Lean, Abraxos, Aqualex, DZ0, aka Darkstar, and Billiam Moto. All 11 of us mapped this phenomenal tiebreaker, and I'm just so excited to, if we ever get a tiebreaker match in next week, I will scream, I will just blow my mind. I'm sure everyone will say the same, and I just thank you everyone who made this happen. Mango, K2, and everyone else. And thank you so much. There's just so many people to name. And I mean, the last screen of this map does show the whole list of names. If you want to go check out the full list of credits for everyone. And thank you so much to Nafi for creating the storyboard. Unfortunately, the video was a little bit hard to see because of the background dim, but if you play the map with no background dim, you will see the whole storyboard in all its glory, etc., etc. And thank you so much, of course, to Muka, who set this play, aka Muchi. This was a somewhat of a last-minute thing. I don't think it's completely last minute, but they were still managed to set such an amazing score on this map, despite it being so difficult. And I just want to say thank you all again. And I'm so proud of everything that we've done as a community, as a team. We've made this happen, and I'm so grateful, I'm so honored, and thank you all once more. Any last words?
I guess I can really shout out the playtesting team in general, since, I mean, I feel like everyone who's been doing playtesting has really gotten, I guess, close to each other, and it's been just such a blast being able to play these maps through and through. It's just like, it's really good to be able to see everyone's hard work really pay off, being able to have basically probably the best map pool that I've seen in a while, with just everything. Honestly, this whole tournament has been just so fun to be able to watch and to be able to play the maps and stuff, and I'm really proud of everybody who's been able to, I guess, help out in any way basically in terms of the map pooling team, because they've really been putting overtime. I think especially the mappers, especially you, Mint. I think you've been putting your work in. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope others do as well.
Yeah, as the 5th year of me pooling MWC and also the 10th year of MWC in general, I really wanted this year to be the year that we made all of this possible. Not just the Grand Finals tiebreaker, of course, but every single pool. I worked so hard, and I'm sure everyone else worked just as hard to make this pool the best map pool you've ever seen, and I sincerely hope that we've managed to achieve that. I just want to thank you everyone so much again.
Pataraj, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, just thank you for the phenomenal work everyone's been putting in, and everyone, thank you also for enjoying it, and we wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of getting a bit emotional. It's like really being able to have this tiebreaker in. It's just shown in all the work that's being played. Really shows in the skill level that the players are at. I just want to say also congratulations to U.S., Korea, and of course Indonesia. Congrats to Indonesia especially, who I believe this is their first time in top 3 in a while, if it isn't. I just want to congratulate them in being able to get to this top 3 podium finisher. I know it's super stressful to be able to play in this tournament, especially at just like such a high level, having to play week in, week out, consistently trying your best, playing these map pools. It's just, I hope y'all are able to play this pool. I hope y'all enjoy it, and I hope others who just play this map pool randomly throughout their sessions, throughout the years, I hope y'all do enjoy these maps. I hope everybody just is happy with it.
For sure. I mean, there's just so much to say about this map pool, really. And I suppose we'll just have to wait and see for everything to go through. And yeah, the last 3 teams are left. They still need to get that final, I guess, moment of like to be able to. I mean, they're all in the podium, but that coveted first place spot and that first place badge is just looking ever so sweet right now, I'm sure, for all these 3 teams remaining. And I'm sure they're all really gunning for it here. And there's no better way, really, to support those teams than buying a banner on the Osu store for $2.50. And what's stopping you from doing that, eh? Like, come on. Let's go.
Yeah, be sure to buy banners. They're amazing. They're like, oh my god, you'll look so cool if you choose the winning team. I think like you'd be the best person in the world if you are able to buy a banner. Especially, you'll be just so much cooler. You'll have everything that you want in your life. Just buy a banner. It's only $2.50. That's like what, 5 gumballs, 6 gumballs, I think. You know, maybe you won't buy those 6
like that.
gumballs.
It's like 5, yeah, maybe a few gumballs. But yeah, I just do want to say the banners will be live until Friday, and you won't be able to buy one after Friday. So get them in while it's still hot, you know. So yeah, thank you all so much. Schedules, etc., will be up, I'm sure, very, very soon, or maybe they're already up right now. I don't know, I haven't checked. But yeah, that is it for me. This is probably my last time being on the mic this year for OSU Live. You probably won't see me again until next year, because I'm going to take a very long vacation in the Bahamas.
Wow.
Yeah, and it goes without saying that Min deserves an extensive break. I've seen Min put so much work into this, and honestly, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Min absolutely carried this MWC. So, just huge thanks.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've like seen so many nights where she's in VCs with other people playtesting continuously, especially in these past like a couple weeks. It's been really a grind. I just want to thank you once again, Mitt. You've been such a help. You're such a great person. You're such a great mapper, such a great pooler in general. It's so fun to be able to work with.
Thank you so much. I mean, I really couldn't have done it without the help of everyone else, and it's really just, I feel like, even though maybe I coordinated a lot of the decisions in the map pool, I really couldn't have done it without all of these wonderful mappers, all of these wonderful playtesters, and everyone else who supported me along the way, and all of my close friends and such, you know. But with that being said, I mean, let's not make this all about me. This is about the remaining 3 teams who will be facing off next weekend. Make sure you catch those streams because it is going to be exciting. There's no telling who's going to be winning until you catch those streams. So you guys better catch those streams. Come on, you know you wanna. This is a really exciting pool, really exciting matchups here, and I'm itching to find out who will rise to the top and get that #1 in MWC 4K 2023. Now, who's with me?
Woohoo! Let's go!
Yeah, let's go to the last stretch, and I'm so excited to see how it all ends up.
Good luck!
Yeah, and I suppose now is about a good time to close the stream off. We'll be here waiting for you next weekend. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting us this whole way through. Goodbye!
Bye-bye!
See you on the other side.